Welcome to another story made by Oracle 1. Ashes of the Wind. Episode 3 Ashes Against the Sky. Lyria Thornbriar awoke to the scent of burning stone. The ground under her was glassy and warm, the air shimmering as if the entire world had been forged an hour ago. When she pushed herself up, chains rattled, heavy glowing bands clamped around her wrists, ankles, even her collarbone. They pulsed with runes that tightened when she moved too quickly. She was kneeling in the center of a colossal arena made entirely of volcanic glass, towering walls rising like black cliffs around her. Above, the sky was a swirling vortex of flame and smoke, lit by drifting cinders. The Fire Court. She had dreamed of other realms as a child, dreams of rivers and forests and wind. Never had she imagined a world where fire took the place of air, where heat was gravity, where even shadows burned. A voice echoed across the arena. Lyria Thornbriar, vessel of the infernal, arson-born child of the mortal realm. You stand before the court of flames. Dozens of figures materialized along the arena's upper ring, fire wardens clad in armor that glowed like molten gold, each bearing chains wrapped around their arms like serpents. At their center, elevated on a dais, sat the Fire Regent. A towering figure fashioned from white-hot flame, taller than 3 havrans. The Regent's voice boomed. You are accused of harboring an outlawed spirit, unleashing unsanctioned fire upon our realm, destroying our wardens, and defying your appointed judgment. Lyria's throat tightened. I didn't choose any of this. I didn't summon the spirit. I didn't. Silence, the Regent thundered. The infernal stirred inside her. They fear what they cannot control. Let me burn them. No, she whispered. Not now. You claim innocence, the Regent continued. Yet the infernal bonded willingly to you, something that only happens when bloodlines align. Lyria blinked. What does that even mean? It means, Warden Havran said, stepping forward with a cruel twist of his lips, that your ancestors forged a pact of flame generations ago. And it means, he leaned close, that the same infernal inside you is the one that burned your village to ash. Lyria shook her head violently. That's a lie. My aunt told me, everyone told me, a faulty furnace destroyed the village. And they lied, Havran spat. Your village was annihilated by an infernal outburst. Too powerful, too wild. It broke free and incinerated every building, every person. Her breaths grew sharp, trembling. No, my parents, they died protecting me from smoke, not from. They died from flame, Havran said. From that creature. The infernal silence inside her was unbearable. Why? Lyria whispered, voice cracking. Did you do it? Did you burn them? The infernal answered with a low rumble. I was hunted, wounded, cornered in your village. When wardens tried to bind me, when mortals tried to resist, the flames spread. I did not choose the destruction. But I caused it. Her heart split like a log in fire. You killed my family. I survived, the infernal said simply. And so did you. The Regent raised a flaming hand. The vessel's emotions are irrelevant. The infernal is an ancient threat. It must be separated and destroyed. The girl will return to the mortal realm, empty. Lyria froze. Empty? Havran smiled. Without the spirit, your body will still breathe. But your fire, your strength, your memories tied to the spirit, those vanish. You will wake as a hollow thing. Lyria's breath came sharp and fast. You're going to erase me. We are saving you, the Regent corrected. But Lyria's heart felt as if it were fragmenting, splintering under truth and betrayal and terror. Her village, her parents, everything she had ever lost. Because of the spirit inside her. But as she knelt there, chains glowing against her skin, another truth burned hotter. She wasn't just a vessel. She had shaped the infernal. Subdued it. Controlled it, stood against wardens who thought she was weak, faced flames meant to swallow her whole. She wasn't hollow. She was fire, and she would not let her identity be ripped from her like smoke from dying embers. The regent lifted his hand. "Bring forth the siphon." A monolithic device of obsidian rose from the arena floor, shaped like a giant claw. Runes ignited along its surface, ready to tear the infernal from her body. Lyria screamed as chains pulled her upright, dragging her toward its gaping maw. The infernal stirred. "This will kill us both," the spirit whispered. "Then fight with me," she breathed. "You wish survival, after what you've learned?" Her eyes burned with tears. "I don't forgive you. Maybe I never will. But my life is mine, not theirs to carve open." The infernal shuddered in surprise. "You are the only mortal who has ever spoken to me so." "I'm the only one who could," she choked. "Now help me." The infernal's voice rumbled with something like pride. "Then burn with me, vessel." The siphon activated, and everything exploded. Lyria screamed as a flood of fire burst from her chest, blazing through the chains like they were twigs. The arena shook. Wardens shielded themselves with their arms. Runed barriers shattered. Sparks whirled into a storm. The infernal erupted through her skin, not escaping, but expanding, forming wings of flame, coiling around her like armor. She rose into the air, lifted by a cyclone of heat. The regent roared, "Contain the vessel." Wardens hurled chains, but they melted mid-air. Lyria inhaled, deep, powerful, steady, and exhaled a wave of fire that bent the chains away before they even reached her. But Havren was relentless. He struck her with a spear of condensed flame that pierced her shoulder, knocking her spinning. Lyria crashed into the arena floor. Fire flared across her skin. Pain seared through muscle and bone. Havren landed in front of her, spear raised for a killing strike. "You," he snarled, "should never have been born." Lyria stared up at him through swirling smoke. "Funny. I was thinking the same about you." She caught the spear shaft with both hands. The infernal surged within her, and together they shattered the weapon. Havren stumbled back. You can't control that thing." "I don't control it," Lyria said, rising as flames fused around her limbs like armor of living fire. "We walked together." She lifted her hand. The arena responded. Flames erupted from the ground, encircling Havren. He stepped back in panic, but the fire closed in, coiling like a serpent. "Lyria, wait. You hunted me," she said softly. "You tortured Pyra. You lied about justice. You wanted power, not order." The fire tightened. Havren screamed as the heat engulfed him. When the flames receded, only his smoking armor remained. The arena fell silent. The regent stood. "Enough. This rebellion ends now." But Lyria rose into the air, infernal wings blazing brilliant gold. "No," she said. "It ends because I say it does." The regent hurled a beam of white flame, the purest court fire. It could incinerate a mountain. Lyria inhaled. The infernal poured strength into her lungs. And she exhaled a spiral of red-gold flame that collided with the regent's attack, pushing it back, overpowering it, until her fire slammed into the regent's chest. The colossal being staggered, fell, and shattered into embers. A hush swept through the court. The wardens lowered their chains. None dared raise a weapon. Lyria hovered above them, crackling with the combined power of mortal will and ancient spirit. She was no longer a vessel. She was a sovereign flame. "Your court is built on fear," she said, voice echoing. "On chains. On punishment. That ends today. No more executions. No more stolen children. No more lies." A warden stepped forward cautiously. What will you do with us?" Lyria looked at the chains still scattered on the arena floor. "Nothing," she said gently. "Choose better. Or this realm will burn itself long before I ever lift a hand." The wardens bowed their heads. Not in fear. In respect. The infernal's voice murmured in her thoughts. "You surprised me, vessel." "Lyria," she corrected quietly. My name is Lyria. Then Lyria descended, landing lightly on the cooled glass. The chains binding Pyra crumbled, freeing her. Pyra rose unsteadily, her flame dimmed but alive. You changed the fire court, Pyra whispered, awe in her molten eyes. No one has ever. Let's just call it overdue, Lyria said softly. Pyra smiled. What will you do now? Lyria looked up at the sky of swirling flame. She thought of Bramble Hollow, of the soot-stained rooftops, the crooked chimneys, the life she had always believed would be small and quiet. She thought of her parents, her aunt, her lost village. She thought of who she had been, and who she was now. I'm going home, Lyria whispered. Pyra tilted her head. You will not be the same girl who left. I know, Lyria said. But maybe that's okay. The infernal warmed inside her chest. No longer a raging storm, but a steady ember. We walked together, it said. Lyria smiled faintly. Yes, together. A portal of shimmering gold opened before her. Pyra's final gift. A safe passage back to the mortal realm. Lyria stepped toward it. As she crossed the threshold, the firelight of the court faded behind her, replaced by wind, cool, gentle, carrying the scent of rain-soaked earth. Real sky, real air, real life. She breathed in deeply, feeling fire and wind mix inside her without conflict. She was Lyria Thornbriar, the girl who breathed smoke, the girl who became flame. And as she walked toward the horizon, her footsteps left faint glowing embers that faded into the soil, silent reminders that a piece of the fire court now walked beneath mortal skies. Her past no longer defined her. Her future was hers to ignite. For more stories, like and subscribe.